Hey y'all, this is David, the Georgia photographer, and today I'm in Chattanooga and I'm gonna do a photo walk and I'm gonna use this lens, the Viltrox 20mm F2.8 Z mount lens. This lens is an autofocus lens, so it allows me to run it natively on my Z50. I don't have a full frame Z mount camera anymore. Sad camera sounds. I'm gonna shoot it on the Z50. So this will look like about a 30mm field of view on it. Now I already have
one eternity later.
Now I already have the 10 to 20mm zoom, but this is a variable aperture and it's a much smaller aperture zoom. Now for outside use, it works perfectly fine for all of my needs. When I film with this camera and lens combination, I normally run in between 10 and 14mm anyway, so 20 is a little long in the realm of videography use for me. Another thing is that I have the 20mm AFD as well. This allows me to basically manual focus on the Z50 or the SL2 or the CL, because I have adapters, because this is F mount, all of those cameras. The Z mount will only work on the Z50. I can do 20mm F2.8 with this lens too. And I have a video, it'll populate on this little card up here, where I show you that you can get good photos with manual focus in this lens on Z mount camera, because I did it with my Z6. All right, let's get the Viltrox AF 20mm F2.8 Z mount lens out of the box and onto the camera, and let's go for a photo walk. One thing to note here is these are both F2.8 aperture 20mm lenses, and they're both autofocus. This one's mechanical drive autofocus. This one is electric autofocus. The whole lens is that big, and on this one, so you've got a little more length. I think they make up for the flange difference between the two because they never re-engineered all of their lenses to fit the shorter flange. They just pushed everything out to meet basically the F mount location scheme, so they didn't have to do all that engineering. But it's interesting to see the size of the front element and the difference in size. But yeah, it's a tiny little lens, so curious to see. And it's plastic, I've noticed that. It might be metal, it might be aluminum, but it don't weigh much. It's very light. Sounds like it's made of plastic, but it's supposed to be autofocus. It has a nice smooth dampened focus ring. Has no aperture ring. That's a bummer. This one at least has an aperture ring, but you know, I'm old school like that. So let's get it on the camera. This thing is very compact and small. Let me get it out in the sun. There we go. Look how little this is. The Z50 is already a tiny camera, and this little lens is just microscopic on it. The one thing I do like about this camera and lens combination is it is small. Hey, here's a pseudo-liminal space kind of photo. Let's see what this looks like. Let's see what that one turns out like. I kind of like the lens, but ultimately I don't know that I have a need for it. I'm enjoying using it because it's a new lens, but here's something that never gets old: the smell of fresh cut grass. It just has this weird odor that takes you back to your childhood, especially if you mowed the yard as a kid, like me. They just cut this today, apparently. Here's a little pro tip about Chattanooga that you may not know. The parking garage that's attached to the EPB building is the one I'm standing on the roof of. There's an elevator on Market Street, street side, and you can get on that elevator, ride it to the 8th floor. This is the 8th floor. It's the roof. Comes out right out of there, right there, where it says wrong way, because that's when you drive out, you have to go around that way. But you come out of there, And if you'll notice, the handrail is waist high. So it allows for tripod setup for cityscape photography. You can get up here and get photos. Like I've took photos of events at Miller Plaza, and I don't remember if I got any pictures of the plaza before they uprooted the trees. There was a pond and a bunch of old growth trees all around, and they dug all that up and then planted these new trees and built this green yard thing. But yeah, you can go there, you can go over here, and it's pretty cool. Get over this way and you can see these stairwells go straight down to the street side. The Pickle Barrel restaurant is on the corner of this building. That's what those people are sitting at. This parking lot is going to turn into a huge, I think it's a hotel. It's bought this space. This whole parking lot right here will, at some point in the not too distant future, become a hotel. They haven't even fenced it off yet, but the purchase has been made. So the photo I'm about to show you won't be able to be taken in the not too distant future. But you come down to this corner, and if you set your tripod up right in the corner, you can see down Market Street, and you can get that bend in the road, and you can get a really cool light trail photo of the lights going down toward the choo-choo, which is at the end. It's a really cool photography opportunity, especially in low light. Early morning, it would probably look good too, because then you get the long shadows, but this is a pretty cool little spot. Just wanted to share that with you. And I don't know what kind of car that is down there, that yellowish orange one, but I'm gonna go over and have a look at it because it looks really interesting. Like, it might be a fairly expensive car. It may be worth photographing with this new Viltrox 20mm autofocus F2.8 STM ASPH ED IF. Man, they got a bunch of letters on this lens. But it's actually, STM probably has to do with the type of motor it has in it. Stepper motor, most likely. Aspherical elements, extra low dispersion glass, and I'm not sure what IF means. Internal focus, because it doesn't move. Yeah, I bet you that's what all that decodes to. But yeah, this little Viltrox 20mm F2.8 Z mount autofocus lens is working really well. I like this lens a lot. But yeah, if you're a photographer and you're coming to Chattanooga and you want to get an iconic photo, this corner, like I said, eventually there's going to be a huge building here and you won't be able to see down through there anymore. So this is a photo you won't be able to take much longer. It's worth your time. Okay, I'm gonna drop down this stairwell right here and go over to see, I don't even know what kind of car that is, but it's cool looking, so I'm just gonna go get a picture of it. Well, there's why I didn't recognize it. It's a Lotus. I haven't seen a Lotus since the 80s. I didn't even know they were still in business, but apparently they're doing well. It's a really pretty car. Oh, he just bought it too. Apparently just a few days ago. This is brand new. It's called a Emira First Edition. It's a real pretty car. Yeah, it's brand new. You can tell it's still spotless. He done killed a cicada with it. That's what that is. All right, I'm gonna stop the camera and take a couple of pictures of it, and then we'll move on with our photo walk. One thing I've noticed with this lens is that it's pretty easy to photograph like architecture with and get cityscape stuff. It works really well for that. It's got its usage. It's got a pretty good little niche. A lot of street photographers like the 28 or the 35, and this lens basically right in the middle of those. It, you know, its field of view is about like a 30mm lens on this camera. So it's right there in with those kindly wider angle street photography-esque sort of builds that people use. But it's actually a really nice lens. The autofocus on it is stunningly good. Like, it's really fast. It's back focusing just a touch, but maybe it's because I wasn't on pinpoint focus. I have the red box on my screen. It's like zone focus. It gets a section of the screen, picks something in that and focuses on it. But I did a close-up of this lock back over right off of Market, and it took me a try or two to get parts of the actual lock in focus that I wanted in focus. I got it finally, but yeah, it's a really nice little lens. Well, I'll be honest with you, it's a wonderful little lens. Viltrox has done their homework. For a simple little plastic lens, it delivers really good results. I've done some close-up stuff. I shot it wide open most of the day. I stopped it down for the little water feature shot that I just did, and it done really well for that too. But the whole thing works out that I'll honestly not use it. It's not because it's a bad lens in any way. It's a wonderful lens. It's just that I don't shoot with 20mm, hardly ever. Just doesn't, it's just not something I use. I don't know, it's just everybody has a focal length they gravitate towards, and for me, wide angle like this is not normally something I use. I do use wider angle lenses for filming, but that just makes it easier to film. That's the only reason. It's not because I like wide angle for video. It's because it's the tool I need to do the job. But you know, if I'm going to use a wide angle lens on this camera, I'm going to put that 10-20 on there, because the 10 gives me wide, you know, on this little camera. So, but yeah, if you're looking for a nice little 20mm prime for a street photography lens that simulates 30mm, which would be about like a 28 on a full frame camera, the field of views are very similar, then this thing would be a great lens for that. Now, on full frame, it's 20mm, and it is a full frame lens. So you could put it, you know, you could get really wide there. I mean, it would get crazy. It'd be a good landscape lens for that. So there's always multiple uses for a lens like this. But yeah, it was neat to walk around and take pictures with it, but I'm just not in love with it. It's just that. I appreciate you watching, and you know, if you like my opinions on this and you want to see more videos by me, you know where that little button is down there that makes all that happen. So until next time, this is David, the Georgia photographer, and I'm going to tell you to get your camera out and go take a picture with it. All right, we'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, y'all, we have made our way all the way to Pigeon Forge. And what I have is, I have a mama and a daddy goose and a bunch of baby geese. See, and the one goose coming out to meet me. Let's see. What are you doing? Hi there. There you go. Yeah. Look, it's little baby geese. There's the mama goose. What are you thinking about it? What is it? Yeah. I think that's a dad. Oh, look, they come out here and had to sit down and take their nap because they're tired. Yeah. Sometimes they'll flog you. Sometimes if you're not super aggressive, they won't. We'll see how it goes. They might be behind me about to attack. I don't know.
I know they just sit down.
Yeah.
I'll walk out.